This story comes from ABC 7. This is our local news. Local news. ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Dun, 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 dun.
Everything should have a dun, dun, dun.
They really do, though. Here in Chicago, all of our news has like really dramatic stingers when they come. It does. They're really dramatic. Yeah.
Mark Meadows burned documents a dozen times during transition. Ex-White House aide told January 6th panel.
I predicted this when we were watching the January 6th thing. I predicted it, and I said, Meadows is going to jail, and you and I went back and forth. I really do feel like Meadows is going to go to jail. I feel like of all the people, he feels like the one that's the easiest to throw under the bus. He feels like the one that I think a lot of different people were throwing under the bus. Like if you look at all,
That's true.
When you talk about this and you look at this, all the testimony that should be swaying people on this, the reason why it should sway you is because these were all Republicans, right?
Right.
Like when they did this January 6th thing, they weren't reaching out to a bunch of Democrats who already hated Trump. Right. They were reaching out to Trump loyalists who were in the White House that day, or they were in power that day. Right. They were assigned to a thing.
Senior leadership.
These are not just small leaders. You're right. This is senior leadership. This is cabinet, small group. You're in the room with these people. Yep. This is big deal. These are big deal people. And they went out of their way to question all these people. And I would say unilaterally, everyone threw Meadows under the bus.
Yeah, man.
Unilaterally, everybody, even his like assistant was like, bust that. And I'm on a bus, bitch. Like, and they were fucking him up from the very beginning. You could feel that he felt like the sacrificial lamb from the very beginning. Because if any of these people, you get Bill Barr sitting there, right? And he's given his testimony. And you think, where's your culpability?
Right.
And where are you? You should be the one advising the president, not just saying this is bullshit and crazy. You should be like, no, you need to stop this. And if you don't, I'm going to come out and resign today or whatever.
Yep.
Instead, he just kind of dealt with it until the very last minute and then finally
pieced out on his own.
At the very end. But, where's your culpability? No, instead, I'm going to blame Meadows. And that's what's been happening since the beginning. And now here's another thing that comes out, and this came out with the testimony that came out last week. He's burning documents after meetings.
Man, I will add to what you were saying. I will add that also his is the only, Cassidy Hutchinson was his right hand.
Yeah.
I forgot what her title was, but she's basically his right hand. And
she's like his executive assistant or something.
And nobody else's right hand flipped on him.
No.
So that's damning.
Yeah.
That's damning. It's just such a one-to-one relationship.
It feels like of all the people, he was the one who was definitely where the shit was rolling down to.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Certainly the shit was rolling to Trump, right? They were trying to...
That's where it should go.
That's where they were mainly pointing. But they were always throughout pointing at Meadows as an enabler. Man, and they never once made it seem like he was ever against anything that Trump did.
No, not at all.
It makes you think, at least it makes me think, that he's probably going to go to jail.
He's going to fucking jail.
I think he's going to
jail. I agree.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't.
What the fuck documents are you burning? I know that I know there is some minimal, very minimal amount of documents that do get burned. So incinerating documents is it's not so much a from what I've read, it's not a standard practice, but it is some documents are so sensitive that they are destroyed after reading. But that is like a fucking fraction of a fraction of a fraction. Sure. It has to be something beyond,
it gets written down first. It doesn't make any sense. Be like,
I guess they don't want to purple monkey dishwasher that shit, I
guess, I don't know, yeah.
But also, I don't understand what the difference is between a document that has to be burned and a document that gets marked as ultra super duper classified national top secret.
Sure.
Those seem like documents that nobody should see. This seems like a document nobody should see. Yeah. Why is anything getting burned? What the fuck is getting burned? And I don't believe for a second that in the middle of this transition that you're feeding the fucking incinerator all this, this is totally a legitimate fire. Also, a legitimate document fire.
Also, I want to say,
if it's a really legitimate fire, it has ways to
stop itself. Also too, if Cassidy Hutchinson knows about it, then she knows that you're burning documents. Then she knows you had something that was ultra secret, which would be a liability. So that doesn't make any sense, right? If she even knew about it, then it's a negative. So it doesn't make any sense. What it sounds like is that you're covering things up. Or you took a giant dump in the bathroom and you got to light something on fire and wave that out of there so it doesn't smell anymore. Normally you just light a match, but Jesus, you got to burn a whole document.
It doesn't smell like shit in here. Now it smells like a top secret document
like-
fire. Anyway, actually still smells like shit. Turns out it's really indistinguishable.
Trump's lighting him and throwing him in the toilet. He's like, why aren't they burning? He's flushing the toilet and they got to call a plumber. It's a whole thing.
There has to be an element of the surreal when you're standing in front of a fucking incinerator and you're feeding your lies and bullshit into it. And you're like, oh, I gotta not go to prison. I have to be like, you know what? I'm going to go tell someone.
Yeah.
I
can't believe there
I gotta bow out.
people who were just like, what is happening?
I know.
Holy shit, I'm calling whatever authority there can be. Like, I cannot imagine that people in this situation didn't immediately break down and be like, because, man, I get a little bent when somebody doesn't put their fucking grocery cart back. And it's not even my job. It's not even my job. And I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing? You don't leave a grocery cart. Like, you can roll into somebody's car. Like, I get a little upset. Right. Like, can you imagine if I'm sitting in a room with somebody and we're like, yeah, well, we certainly don't want the Democrats to find this. They're lighting the fucking, like, Oval Office on fire because they want to.
From now on, all of our documents are going to be printed only on Matchlight brand paper. Matchlight brand top secret paper.
It's like a magic trick, man. It's like so many different magic tricks. He's pulling secret documents on his fucking top coat. He's got a fucking rabbit made of fucking secret documents he pulls out of a hat. It's insanity, man.
What is going on?
I mean, like, tell me, Tom, when we started the podcast, even just go back, like, because Obama was president for 4 or 5 years while we were doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Just think about what the fuck would have happened to him.
Oh,
if
yeah.
a single one of the controversies, one of the 1,000 controversies during the Trump presidency would have happened while Obama was in office.
Yeah, he would be killed.
It's unreal.
Killed.
Unreal, man.